Okay, so the Victorian age was the time in which Queen Victoria ruled on the throne in Britain, and it's notorious for being quite a repressed age, in which people were what we classically call a stiff upper lip, and people didn't reveal their feelings much. And there was also a huge divide between the rich and the poor at the time, and the educated and the uneducated. But at the same time, during this period, lots of progress was made, including industrialisation. What do I know about Oliver Twist? He's written about by the author Charles Dickens, and in the novel he's an orphan boy whose mother has died, and he's eventually taken in by a gang of pickpockets led by the Artful Dodger and a man called Fagin, and also by another woman called Nancy, and as far as I know it all ends happily, and he eventually becomes the adopted child of a very wealthy family. So that's what I know about Oliver Twist. How did London change in the 19th century? Well, of course, there was industrialisation, there was more wealth coming into the country, banks were developing further, and in many ways it was an age of prosperity, but as I said before, an increasing divide between the rich and the poor was taking place, and so London could be really quite an unpleasant city for many. The advantages of industrialisation, I guess, were progress that's taken us into the modern age, and things that we're well used to now, such as trains and various transportation systems, the development of various types of fuel. So those are the advantages, but the disadvantages, of course, were that a lot of this was being done through child labour, and many children were actually killed during this period because of the terrible conditions. But also adults were affected badly. They were paid next to nothing, they couldn't feed themselves very well, and there was high risks of death during this period in the factories. And also, of course, it started to cause a lot of pollution, so it changed the landscape of London, and London as we know it now.